Okay. So this is the data we have. It's on cars, the make of the car, the model of the car, the color of the car, the mileage of the car, the price and the cost of the car. So what I'll be doing is just I'll be trying to make a pivot table. So in order to do that, yeah, we have to highlight all this stuff. So we press on the triangle over here, then we press on control and then just drag it to the data we need. And then now we can go to insert and pivot table. Then
It's
we
not
go to,
showing, just so you know, it's not showing. Your screen is not moving.
oh, my screen's not moving. Uh, can you see my screen now? Matt, can you see my screen?
Still loading.
Oh, okay. Just tell me when you can see it.
Yes.
So let me start from the beginning. So we have all the data here that we need, the make of the car, the model of the car, the color, the mileage, the price, and the cost. So we want to make a pivot table. So what I'll start by doing is by copying all this data here. So what I'll do is I'll just press this triangle at the top, and then once I press the triangle, I should be able to just drag. Wait one sec. Once I press the triangle, I should just be able to drag and highlight all the data. And once I've done that, I'll just go to insert, which is here, and then press pivot table, and then from table range. And then now we can just press new worksheet, and we can press, wait one sec. Well, I've copied it incorrectly, so I'll copy it like that first. Then I'll go to pivot table, and from table range, then new worksheet, and press OK. And then now what we have is the pivot table fields. So I'll just make one pivot table, for example. Wait one second, I think.
Undo, undo,
Yeah.
undo twice.
So now I'm just trying to highlight all of this.
No, you've replicated make thrice. So undo
Oh,
twice
yeah.
first before
Thank you.
you continue. Yes.
Now it's back. So now I'll just copy all of this. Wait, let me make it a bit bigger. Mm. So now I've copied all of this, and then I'll go to insert, and then I'll press pivot table.
Can I also do a quick teaching,
Yeah.
Victor? So once
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have your cursor on the make, for example, just
Yeah.
do a control A, control A.
Control A. Yeah. Thank you. So now it's selected.
So,
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean, just a quick one to say when you want to select stuff, generally, Control A helps to is the control for select all. So at times when you're struggling to move your mouse or move your cells or something, if you use the function, it will take the active cells, and that's how to fix that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. So now I can press pivot table, And then we have the table range, which is also showing the sheet. And we want to press new worksheet, so that will take us to a new sheet that we can use to put the pivot tables on.
I was just going to say, let's try it on the existing sheets. There's something I would like you to, I know you've already tried, it's just a bit of location. So can you go back one step and put it on the existing sheet?
Existing sheet, okay. So existing worksheet, I think we can. So for example, I'll say sheet 3. But it says destination reference is not valid, although it's over here.
No, so you didn't have to enter the sheet. Just delete that. It says existing sheets. Delete the location. Yes, just say okay. Okay, let me quickly share my screen to demonstrate that. I suppose you can all see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So if I did do the Control A, so Control A, right? One of the things you need to do when you want to insert a pivot table, and I will show you, is if you put existing sheets, you then need to ensure that your cursor starts from somewhere outside of your current data set, so that it picks the sheet. It's looking for, the location is more or less looking for where to start. And once I say okay, you can see. So you've sort of separated the pivot table, and you can actually be demonstrating what you want next to your size of table. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm unsharing my screen. I want you to demonstrate it and then take it up from there.
Okay. So now we just press different one, and then it comes up here. Then okay. So now we can choose where we can see the pivot table fields. So now if I want to do, maybe for example, make, I'll drag it into rows. Then we can see the make that is here. We can see Chevrolet, Dodge, Ford, Honda, Nissan, and Toyota. Then we can also see the grand total. So that's for the rows. Then now, for example, if I want to put maybe price, the price of the car, we'll have to drag it into values because it's the value of the money as well. So I can see the sum of the price and maybe the cost as well. Wait, what's it? Oh. The cost as well. So I'll put the price back in here, and the cost can go here as well. Then we can see the sum of the price and the sum of the cost. And maybe that's all we want to do for now. Then maybe we can make another one. Maybe a different one saying like the model, the color, and the mileage. So I'll do that. So now I can say if I want to do, instead of the make of the car, we can now do model. So I'll drag that into rows, and we can see the models of the different cars that we have. And then we can also do, let's say, the mileage as well. So the mileage would also go into values. So this is the mileage for all the different models of the different cars. And then after that, we can also do maybe color, and that will go in rows. So we can see all of the different colors over here. If you scroll down, we can see all of the different colors, all of the different mileages and the models. And then if we want to make things to just understand a bit, we can put the make at the top. And then we'll say, for example, Chevrolet has different makes: Impala, Malibu, Silverado, and then we can see the different colors underneath and also the sum of the mileage underneath. And then for the different cars as well, we can see, for example, Ford and Dodge, Honda, we can see the different models, the different makes of the cars and also the different colors. And at the end, we have the grand total of the mileage, that is the sum of mileage from all the makes. And that's basically it. I'm finished.
Oh, sorry, I stepped out a bit. You're done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first and foremost, Zainab, did you get it?
Yes, ma.
Was it too fast?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so
Yes,
Victor,
ma.
I didn't even come back to see your screen. Please go back. Let me just check something.
Okay.
Darasimi, did you get it?
Yes, ma.
Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, I can. So I don't know how or why I missed this, but okay. All right, thanks. I will just sort of share my own screen, go with you, and maybe share one or two things that I know. And I suppose that would just help as additional information for today. So can you unshare your screen? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose you all know that you can also create your pivot table in the same sheet. I mean, you can create it in an external sheet. There's nothing wrong, but you can control these things. That I think you've been able to pick, I believe, in today's class, right?
Yes, ma.
Okay, great. There are some controls that you also, so you guys might even be, in quote, let me use colloquial English, you might even be vaster than me. But whatever it is, I suppose there would always be something to learn per time. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
So one of the things we can do with data also again is if you, where's my A? It's A, was it Eden? Do you guys know how to hide a cell and all that?
Yes.
Hide. Okay, it's hidden. All right. Okay. So, here you can actually insert something called table, not pivot now. If you click on within the active cell and you say insert table, it picks it as a range for you. And you see that, and then you just create a table. That's already a table. Have you done that before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can insert something like this on its own, and then you can filter, of course, filter by whatever to see the information that you need and what as it is. When it comes to pivot tables or pivot tables in some cases, okay, if we picked the information, existing table range, this is, so I would do existing sheet. Okay, sorry, forgot to click somewhere next to. Okay. Now you can do, I know you said you already talked about this. So usually make is the big deal. So if we put make, values, what's important, pretty important about values beyond money and cost is you can also use it to count, So if, for example, I put in my price, of course, as value, right? That's a value. We can put costs, which you have done. Then if I bring make back into values, what has it done for me? It has helped me to count. Did you get that? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you done that function already? Did you demonstrate it? Because I may have missed that. I wasn't sure if I saw that.
No, I don't think I put the colors in the, not the colors, the count of making the value.
Okay, so it's not the one that, so once you pick a value that is really not in numbers, but you put it under value, what it does for you is it does the count. Do you understand? It does the count. That's why it's calling it count of value, count of make. Did you guys get that? So we are able to know that, yes, Chevrolet is 4, and this is the total. So at times when, for example, if we want to know the colors by count, how many vehicles have so many colors, it could be put in there, but the colors would most likely have to be with the brand in a different way. So if you put you see the difference. If I put colors under columns, then it has broken it down further to the extent that I then have it all split as the column headers. I have the information already broken down, saying Chevrolet won this. Remember, the total count by number is 4. So I already have the 4 given to me in this way. And all the ones with value or volume or something will then be spread. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if I recall very well, Toby, I can't remember what you were particularly saying you were not clear about, but I know that oftentimes the easiest one is to put it inside the ones that are, no, let me remove and of course, if you want to remove, all you just need to do is take it out, drag it out. So I'm taking, it's either I completely take it out or I just uncheck it from here. Where is it? Yeah. So this is a tidier. Darasimi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do I know the number of Ford that is there? How do I know? How did I get it? Darasimi, are you finding trouble responding? Because it takes a while for you to respond.
No, no one. Okay.
I just asked you a question. Darasimi, did you hear my question? We are recording this session, so I don't want to be spending time calling names without response. Was it your network?
No, ma'am.
Did you hear my question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have the answer or you don't know what the answer is?
I have, I don't know what the answer.
Pardon?
I don't know what the answer is.
Okay, Toby, or no, perfect. Can you talk through what we did? I'm going to unshare my screen. Perfect. Just do a quick demonstration of redoing the pivot table, doing counts, and let Darasimi see it. Okay? Perfect. I hope you heard me. If perfect, did you hear me?
Yes, ma.
Okay, great.
Ma, can you hear me?
No, we could not hear you. We thought you were doing it without saying anything. I just heard you now.
I've finished doing it.
Oh, so I saw the mouse moving, but I thought you wanted to get yourself sorted before you then talk through it. Or did
I
anybody
thought I
hear
was
her?
unmuted.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I mean, you've done it, but just let's know very quickly, run us through. You've done a couple of things which can also still be added, but now you are on. You just talk us through it quickly. Darasimi, you said you were not sure what the answer is, so Perfect is taking us through one more time.
Should I restart or just summarize what I've done?
Summarize.
So first, you have to use Control A to like select everything. And then after that, you go to Insert and press Pivot Table. And you can do it in an existing worksheet, but I don't know if that one worked for me. So
I
you
think the
go
only
on.
thing you did not do correctly, I saw you, and was because you were not speaking. You don't have to repeat it now, but just know that all you needed to do after you've selected is click an active cell outside of your selection area. So close, so for example, you can move this, yes, you can move that small window. All right, so select your area that you want to use, Control A. No, you've taken everything. Click on make first before you then do your Control A. Yes, or something. No. Yeah. Yeah. Then insert, pivot table. Yes. Now you can click under J, column J, somewhere. But no, since you have to first click existing worksheet. Yes. So click on existing worksheets, then column J, somewhere there. Yes. And then say OK. So no command requires at least two sources of, I think because you have an active, can you close the other pivot table on the other worksheets? I'm not so sure what the problem is, but cancel this first. Go to the previous one that you had done. You should be able to replicate it, by the way. Okay, let's close this. Let's close this pivot table. Can delete them or something. You should be able to replicate them though, but let's just assume that it's the one disturbing us from achieving what we want to achieve. All you need to do is just click on the row data and delete. It will go off. Row labels or something. That's somewhere there. Delete. Just press your delete. It should be able to go off. No, your delete on your keyboard.
I pressed the delete on my keyboard, but it's not working.
Oh. Okay, close. So hold on. Yeah, close this. Close the X tab by the pivot table on your, no, on the pivot table fields. Can you see your pivot table fields to your right on your screen? Just down under symbols. Come down under symbols. Yeah, you can see where the pivot table, where you drag and drop stuff. Just close it. When you drag and drop values and all that, you see the X. Yes. Okay, now let's highlight the table and let's see. I think you highlight this table now and let's see if you'll be able to delete. Just press delete. Yeah. So we've removed that. Go to the other one. Now go to the sheet where we have the existing. Now let's try it again. So insert pivot table. Existing. Yes. Click around. It can be somewhere. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I hope you've seen that. Perfect.
Yes, ma.
All right. Okay, so you can go on now. Tell us what you did on the other side. Now, like I said, just so everyone knows, it's not mandatory you have your sheets, your pivot table in your sheet. You can do it in a fresh sheet. You can do it on the same sheet. These are just the commands that you can do. When your data is not so large, you could put your pivot table next to your raw data. So that way you are able to make sense of what you are doing and you won't have to go far looking for the solution or looking for the raw data and swinging between sheets, switching between sheets rather. Okay, so go on. Are you speaking again? Victor, perfect. Yes, go ahead because you are just unmuted yourself now.
First, you do the insert pivot table part, and then after that, you go to the pivot table fields, and you select make, model, and then like price, mileage, and that. And then after that, and then after
So
that,
a quick one, your screen is so zoomed in that we can only see the numbers. So can you zoom out a bit so we can see the, yes, okay, go on.
so you select what you need to select. And
You've forgotten what you want to pick? Perfect. You're trying to
pick the make, mileage, price, and you pick the cost as well.
so go ahead and pick them now.
And summarize. I don't even know.
Okay, thanks. So there was one more question I asked. How do you get the number of Chevrolet that's been sold or the number of brands or make? How do you get that?
You go and make.
So you missed out make, I think, in your selection, because make is not also showing there. It just shows row labels. I'm wondering. So scroll up on your main data, on your raw sheet. So I'm not sure you selected the complete thing initially. That's why there's a bit of struggle. So your headings is not picking the full thing. Maybe we left make out. Okay, so let's quickly correct that. Delete the, at least that's what I know. So at times we may if we make mistakes in selecting the full extent of what we need, some of the data is left out. So we just need to be careful. On share your screen, let me show you something. Okay, so here, I think I know I did. So I'm just going to remove the table that was inserted in mine. Where is insert? Remove table. Sorry. So if you're going to select, and I just say insert, remember I've created it as table, but which you don't always have to do. If I just click on insert table, because it has already gathered it as table, if not, okay, I'm going to just quickly show something now. If you did not select your data, I'm coming. I want to show raw data for you. Don't save. Then I come back to the okay. There are several ways to manipulate a pivot table. So I come, share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, great. So I want to insert pivot table. I have not selected. So what you could do is also, while the pivot table is active, even if you had not selected, you just come to make, drag your, can you see? So you drag your mouse across the extent of the active sheet. Did you get that? Did you see that? Did you guys see that?
Yes, ma'am.
You can pre-select it, but if you have not pre-selected it, it doesn't mean that you have to go back necessarily. And I don't know if we've done that before, but you just select from the beginning, cross it across, create like a virtual rectangle across the cells that you want to use, and then you come in, it then picks it on your range, table range. And that's another thing. If you had created a table out of it initially, it will bring you a table within what you are trying to select. Now, the next thing is, I am using an existing table. I don't want to be moving from one place to the other. So you can see my cursor is somewhere and it's here. So if I say okay, oh, sorry, I think I stopped the range. I made a mistake. So remember that active cell, because if you come back to select within you must have selected where where you want your pivot table to be before if I'm just going to use my same cell to select the table, then the first thing is my destination have to be predetermined. I would have clicked on where I want it to be. Then I come, pivot table, it's an existing sheet. I then select virtual, because you can't use too many commands at the same time. So it's already selected all the information it needs. Then I say, okay. So with the okay, I'm ready to create my table. Now, I just a second, please. I need to keep it full very quickly. Okay, can you hear me? I'm back. Did I unshare my screen? No. Is my screen still active?
Yes, ma'am.
Pardon?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma.
Okay, so I just talked about, so this is, we're creating the vehicles. We talked about prices, right? We talked about costs, right? Then I said something about if I want to know the number, I'll just bring back, so for values, it's going to be count still. I bring back my make into, and that's the one that is giving me numbers there. If I want it to be before, a bit of rearrangement can always happen. My count for make, I can move it to the front, move it behind. Did you see that? So I know the number. I know that's how to use now for,
Director.
yes.
Yeah, so I think it's like a. I know you were picking it out of perfect work. The row labels on yours as well. It's not showing the make at the top.
Oh,
So I think it's like that.
no. So in the case of, this is where I saw in the case of perfect, she didn't have row and make in our under pivot table fields. I'm not sure we saw make at all. Do you
No,
understand?
the list was there,
Pardon me?
but the heading wasn't.
What did you say?
Like the list of the cars, Ford, Honda, and everything, they were there.
Yes, yes. But what I'm saying is on this side, can you see my mouse?
Yes, yes.
Okay, this make at the top, it was missing in perfect data. That's why I was wondering that maybe we left it out. Do you understand? Because we couldn't pick make as count. I was trying to make her pick make to know the number of so you would, if you have selected Chevrolet and the other ones, they will be there. But as at the time we wanted to do on perfect system, we couldn't pick make to move it under values, except I was mistaken. Is that correct? Perfect. Can perfect hear me?
Understood.
Can perfect hear me?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Did we see make under the pivot table fields for yours that time?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not sure we did. I'm not sure we did, because this is the main reason why I looked for it, and because this helps us to know the number by products. And if you want to know the number by product or something by count as opposed to sum. Now, another thing here under pivot table, and I suppose there are several other things which Isaac, as an expert, will also be able to add. One other thing I would like to mention is, so for example, we talked about colors. Colors is filtering further, so we could use it under filters. If you bring colors, colors is more around drilling down further, you will notice that there's a color section at the top, which then tells you that there's opportunity to filter. If we click here, we could say black vehicles. And if you see, did you see that? So all the vehicles that are black, if you want to filter further, you could use that to just know. It may not be accommodated easily within the direct pivot table, but you can filter the main pivot table using filters. We could use mileage and then do a range, but it's easier to say, okay, black colors, they would need different. I could pick 2 different colors. I could select black and green. I could select all, but I think I can only select one out at a time, or I select everything. So if I wanted to know white, this is white.
There's an option to select multiple items.
I'm trying to see that. Okay, yes, thank you. Select multiple items, yes. So I can do silver and red. So have you already done that? So I just know. Or we're just learning this? Hello?
Just learn.
We can hear you, ma.
Okay. Have we seen that? So even within the pivot table, you can get your information further by streamlining on how do I, so this is the main one. I know what I have, but how do I know further how many cars, which one has the highest, which one has the lowest? We can actually then know from here, for example, if I picked, let's say, I can say, I think that there's a way to know the, I'm trying to remember now, that you can pick the field and then give it some values to say sort by. So let me see. I hope I can remember that. Show has values. Okay, summarize by. Okay, this is what I'm saying. So if you see, I could do a count, summarize values by. Can you see that? I could say maximum or minimum. This doesn't work, so let me put this. So summarize average. I'm able to pick this to say this is the average. You can give it as much command as you want. What's the average cost across each of the range that you are looking at? What's the average in this instance? What's the highest? So sum of price. If I pick and then come and say summarize counts, let's see, maximum. See? Maximum price, minimum price. Remember that there are different price within each of the costs. There's still the different prices. For example, in our raw data, so just to show you what has been demonstrated, in our raw data right now, you see under Accord, to my left, I hope you're seeing my screen. To my left, you've got Accord, red. This is the amount, right? But this is the price. But same Honda Accord, blue, this is the price, 25, okay? And so within the costs, within this price, it's already been summed because that is the amount that is there. But I could use the same table to find what is the minimum value, what's the maximum value, without necessarily leaving changing the full setting of my, so I would, let me pick all and take it like this. So you assume that this is Chevrolet. This is I'm picking the maximum price within the 4 vehicles. I'm picking the minimum price within the 4 vehicles. Or I could then come back and just say, okay, summarize values by sum. Can you see the difference? Did we get that?
Small.
Hello?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay. Thank you for responding. Victor, are you there?
Yes, ma.
Okay. And did you see what we did?
Yeah.
Zainab, did you see that?
Yes, ma.
So tell me, what did we do? Zainab, what did we do? Are you there, Zainab? Okay.
Yes, ma. I think from
Go ahead. Zainab, go ahead, please. I'll believe it's network. Darasimi, if you are there, respond and explain. Darasimi, and please
I
speak.
wasn't looking.
So, eh?
Edma, I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at it.
You were not looking at it.
Yes,
Okay. Toby, can you explain what's happened, what we have done, what we've just learned, what we can express with a pivot table?
This is like a recap of what you just did in particular.
Yes, yes.
Okay, a recap. Okay, so you have raw data here. So what we've done, after you select your raw data or the data you have somewhere, you select everything, go to insert, click your pivot table. Then, yes, so in the making of a pivot table, you have different, how do you call it? You can break them down into different, like, how will I say it? It's not like a normal table now. So yes, so here we got the values of everything because it's like a feature of the pivot table. So for stuff like price, mileage, cost, it's usually gives us like a total at the bottom. It just gives us like an automatic grand total underneath. Yes. But for things like color, for model, for make, if you need a value, when it comes to values for those, it gives you the count of those things. Since they are not numbers, it just gives you the count of them in the table. So if there are like 4 Ford cars in the table, it will give you the count of 4. Yes, so that's for that. Then what we just did now, okay, yeah, we looked at the like filter, will I call it function? Looked at the filter function. So we put color in there. So in our table that's already there, when we put your color section into the filter part, once you click on that drop down arrow and you pick any particular color, it breaks it down and just gives you the color of the cars you're looking in particular. Like you showed, for example, black. So out of these 24, I think there were only like 6 black something. Yeah, you can pick black then. Yes, so it just shows you just the black colors, the price and the cost and whatever else, whatever you're looking for. Then, yes. Then you also, instead of sum of price, you can also check for maximum or minimum price or cost or something. Do you left click on it? I'm asking, sorry, because I'm not 200% sure. Yes, okay, yeah, you just summarize values as or by or something. Please, can you go over that maximum and minimum?
Thank you. At least, so it's right click usually. Normal use is left click. But yes, so if we had everything here, I'm going to just bring it all back and select all. This is what we have. We're saying the total sum of, so this is already adding up the value in terms of price for us, right? And of course, if I wanted to take out, let's just even say we are just focusing on price alone. In terms of, this is sum of price. If I want to have the average or a particular amount compared to, remember that this is the total at the base. I can have 2 sections showing different values. So for example, if I put price, where is price? Just so you know, I'm going to do, so let me see. No, this is not what I need. So I could have this replicated twice, I think, under values such that, I'll come back to that. So I was showing you that we can do maximum, minimum, or something. This is it. If I right click, I will come to summarize values by. Okay, summarize values by, or summarize, show values by. Okay, in the summarize values by, this is sum that we have done. I can summarize it by the maximum. Now, within the maximum of Chevrolet, so this tells me that the price for prices, the one with the maximum price for Chevrolet is 4959. I can summarize also by minimum, which is show values, show summary by minimum. Okay. I could also show some values by average. That's the average total figure. It would have done an average of everything, even including the grant. The grant would have done an average of the total sales. But what we usually would see is summarize values by sum, right? I could come and then also ask it to summarize values by percentage. So show values by percentage. This can be percentage of the grand total. So that tells you that in the totality of the amount sold. Can you see that? This tells you that the one that's selling most, that has the highest contribution, is Ford. Ford has contributed 22% to the total. Please just give me a second. I need to pick a call. All right, guys. So, sorry, I had to quickly pick a call. So we can see that we can express this in percentage. We can express this, and the lowest by percentage is Dodge. Oh, no, it's not. That's Toyota, right? If I'm correct. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So I can, you can always use your people. And from here, if I decide to just pick black cars and go, you see that even though it has sorted by the colors of black cars, this information is purely for black vehicles. And the percentage contribution to black vehicles alone, not particularly the grand total for the complete vehicles. So filters help you to streamline, and you are able to do specific further drilling down into a particular segment of your information. You don't have to always lean on the complete data before you are able to get the one you want in particular, as we can see from here. If we picked two, let's say white and black, for example, we can see that okay, the totality of white and black is this amount. We've got Ford was able to sell both black and white, 39% contribution, percentage contribution by, because we can obviously see the content. Now, if you also look at, even though you have one, Dodge has one, Honda has one, but you see that the contribution of, Honda, even though it's one, is higher than that of Dodge. Can we see that?
Yes, higher.
Yes. So that tells you that because this is evaluated by value, it is clear that we can do a lot with our data. So at this point, I'm going to ask that you guys just play around with it. What I want you to do is create like 3 or 4 pivot tables, 3 or 4 pivot tables, and let's see the difference. So you can actually still pick and express different data. So sum of price, another person could do the costs. Let's see what we can do with mileage. So let's prune it. I want I want Victor, you do for mileage. Everyone is going to be doing by color, but I just want you to play around mileage. You explain your pivot table to me. Toby, play with price. Perfect, play with costs. And okay, we didn't even talk about models. So models too, we could use it as filter, or we can use it for counts. So let's play around with that. I'm not calling Zainab and I'm not calling Darasimi right now because you are not able to share your screen and we're struggling with it. So I think we're going to use that to round up for the day. I'm going to give you like 10, 15 minutes to just try and work with this, express it in, you can choose to express in percentage, you can choose to express in any of those summarizing value, or we can interchange, but I'm giving you like 10 minutes so you can get back. Are we clear? This is like class activity.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks. Hello? Is anybody ready to share?
Not yet, ma. Maybe like a minute more.
Okay. Darasimi, are you practicing? Are you able to practice?
I'm trying to learn.
Can I go?
Yes, please. Am I still sharing?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So I did price. I'm doing price. So, okay, let me go back to its original. No calculation. All right. So this is the makeup cars. This is the sum of price. So you can decide to summarize by, first of all, summarize by max year. You can summarize by minimum. All right. Then I can go back and do the average of all of them. Yes.
So let me use your system to quickly teach us. You can actually drag, I knew I wanted to do that. You can actually drag the same price twice into the values section. So can you quickly do that? Yes. So what happens with that is that while you can keep one as sum, you can begin to manipulate the second one. Do you understand?
Yes.
To give you the different values. That's also something that everybody can apply. So you can drag a particular value into a section like values, especially twice, not filters. Filters will always be filters. So if you do that, while you have the other one constant as sum, you can have the other one as percentage, maximum, minimum, instead of you changing the same figure. Okay, please go on.
Yes. So now I have my sum in the first column, and in the second, I have shown my.
I'm not sure what you have done is completely correct, because it's showing 100% at the top 100, so you need to check. Okay.
I've changed that.
All right, great. And that's part of how you know when your data is working or not. When
Yes.
you're having to struggle to interpret your information, then there's a problem. Are we all getting that?
Yes. So, okay, yeah, so I've done my sum. The first column has my price, sum of price. So the next has the sum of price shown in percentage. Yes. So I can drag another one down to values again. Then I can change that to, let's say, if I want to see the average, I can change that to average of the price. Yes. So, Marley.
I didn't see you use the filter.
Filter?
The filter command, although it's not part of your, but you could also just try to see filter.
Okay, I could. Is it with price?
No, it's not. You can't filter with price per se.
Okay.
I think it should be.
So I'll use model. You used color before, so let me just use something different. I will use model. Then if I select multiple items, or I can decide to choose Ultima, Civic.
So I mean, just to let you know that we have to be careful. I can't see what you're after what's on your screen directly is all we can see. The overlaying this thing we are not able to see generally, maybe because of the type of sheet you are using. But if model may not be synonymous across, because every car has got its own model. So in terms of using it as a filtering this thing, unlike color, keep it as model and let's see what you have. But color, for example, you will have colors that will go across. You will have black, you will have, so in terms of what you will filter. But for example, if you use model, it will only shortlist based on a particular make of car. A Chevrolet model name cannot be the same name as a Honda model name. Do you understand?
Yes.
But black will be black across several things. White will be white. So let's see what you have. Now that you have, no, I want you to remove the, so for example, model is not even in this thing that you have done, is it? But let's see, if you picked out color, if you take out the color and just leave model, how does that work?
Yeah, this is model alone. I haven't edited anything in color.
Okay, so this is model alone. But you've picked multiple items. What exactly did you pick under model?
Accord, Camry, Civic.
Okay, so it's fine. That way you're also able to streamline, just to say, right? And that's what the filtering will also be about. So within the model of, you can pick specific models within different vehicles. So that makes sense in that way, in that interpretation. All right, thank you. Who's ready to share next?
Thank you very much.
I can go next one.
Please go ahead.
So mine was to do the mileage. So what I did is I did the sum of the mileage first, and then at the end I just put the grand average. So the average of all the mileages from all the other cars here, and yeah, I don't know if there's any if you can make any correction on what I could do or to make it better or something.
I'm sorry, Victor, did I miss? I completely missed that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm so sorry. Please, can you
Sure.
repeat?
Yeah, I'll share my screen again.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it's complete, but all I just did was I did the sum of the mileages for all the cars, and then the grand total of all the sum of the mileages, and then at the end I just added the grand average for all of the cars. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do to make it better or improve.
Okay, so if we wanted to pick information, if we want to drill down on mileage, for example, remember that under Chevrolet, there are different models and they have different mileage as well. So you could duplicate the mileage and see the one that have run so much. Do you understand? So which also helps you to come and filter. You could use the filter thing. You could duplicate some of mileage and find the percentage. You could use, there is no need for colors. I think what we can just do is use the models to find the ones with maximum or minimum mileage.
Mileage,
Do
okay.
you get that? So can you quickly do that? So the information we have makes sense. Are you recreating a pivot table again? You don't need that, do you? Where's your, no, click off, just click on your pivot table. Exactly, that's what you need.
So now I can make.
So drag mileage to, no, drag mileage, you can't do rows like, yes, mileage to values.
To values, okay.
Yes, that's what you need. Then you can now right click on sum of mileage, come to right click on that row, yes, right click, and then you choose summarize by.
Summarize values by.
Yes, so it could be average, maximum, depending on what you pick, or you want to values as. It can be summarized values as percentage or something. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So let's quickly do that. Just, you're picking something else again, no value field. Close this. This is not what you need. Close. Then right click again.
I'll just do maximum.
Yes, that's fine.
So this is
okay. So maximum. Now, if you filter, if you then pick on filter and use models, so drag your model into filter.
Filter.
Yes. Then you can click on open the drop down arrow. Yes. And let's see the difference. So we could pick any of these and see what the mileage is. But remember that because they are models, they will only show for a particular brand.
Yeah.
They can't show across. However, if you wanted to check the one for, what's it called? Maybe by colors or something, you would then be able to know. So if you, what this data means is that you just want to know the maximum of, so if we had two Malibu, for example, I think this is Malibu, right, that you filtered, or which brand?
Oh, no, this is F-150. I'll put it on Malibu.
F-150, that's fine. So if you pick F-150, remember, so first is that the model is not part of what the main thing is, but it is telling you that F-150 is a Chevrolet brand.
Yeah.
It's a Chevrolet model. And right now, if you had two F-150 brands, for example, it will pick the maximum mileage. Do you understand? But apparently, Chevrolet is just one. So
Yeah.
that's why sum is equal to the same thing as max. So if we know any of the brands that have, so for example, if we picked by quantity, if we use the number of the quantity that is there, and we know, then it's going to tell us which one has the maximum, which one has the minimum. If you change maximum mileage to percentage, for example, no, so that will show value as, not by.
Oh, show value as.
That would be next one down.
Oh yeah, this
Yes.
one, percentage.
Yes. So percentage of grand total. Yes.
100%.
So because it's exactly just one, you would then know that it is a percentage. But if you want to know across, then
we cannot select.
Unselect it, and you'd have to. So let's select everything. Let's have all. Okay, and so you need to correct the first one because it's showing you it's not maximum mileage. It is supposed to be, that's supposed to be
Percent.
Percentage. So
or would I remove maximum mileage?
Show no, okay.
Show value as.
Yes. All right, so why do we have go to show value by? Let's see something.
Show value
by. Just up right above.
Oh, this one.
Yes, so do sum. Yes, that's because you had already picked max there. That's why you're testing. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so you just need to correct a bit of the functions. So it's the sum, but this is the percentage, and this is what you have. So in terms of total contribution, but mileage is the by mileage, as it were, this one, which of them has taken the longest drive so far? That would be Chevrolet, right?
Yes.
Which is different from the statistics from what Toby shared. So as you scroll down, you are able to know in terms of details what it is that we're trying to get. Thank you. So can we move on to perfect?
Yeah, I'll just share my screen now. So here we have the different cars and their costs. So for each car, it has its own cost, and then at the bottom you have the grand total. So here we can drag costs into values, and now you have the second one, and you can change it to like percentage or minimum or maximum. So I'm gonna make this one percentage of grand total. So, and then you can do that. You can drag it again twice into values, and now you have another one, and you can change that one as well.
So just quickly, so you know, perfect. So you have moved, what you dragged in is now between your column B and column D. So if you want to correct anything, it will be, if you want to adjust anything right now, it will be column C, not D. Did you see that? You've already done something on your column D, but when you were dragging your cost again, it's It stayed between column B and column D. Did you get that?
Oh, I see it now.
So move your cursor to column C to do any adjustments you want to do. But the other way is you can move them around from your pivot table fields, where you just move the last sum of costs to the upper part, then it just swaps places.
I've changed it now, so I'm done.
Okay, so what did you do for the third column? That's count. Okay, maximum.
So for the maximum, I had to change it, and if you right click, then you'll see all the options, and you go on summarize values by, and then you select max.
Okay. Go to the top of column D, the one sum of, yes, right click. I'm wondering why. I thought it was supposed to, okay. Summarize values by. Okay, just come down a bit. Okay, that's why it says sum. All right, again. Okay, that's fine. So your filter, did you try to use a filter?
I've not used the filter yet.
Okay, so can you try that immediately? We will soon round up. I think we've learned a couple of things today already. I believe so. Zainab, I know you will not be able to share your screen, but if you've practiced anything, let me know. Which of them did you practice? Let's just hear you before I call Darasimi, and then we can call it a day.
So I actually did everything in general due to so I tried to like use colors and the filter. Okay, ma. So I tried to like do the assignment in general, making use of colors as filter. Then I added the sum to make it percentage by adding sum to values to make it an like extra on the like to make it the one I'll be working on the system. So I used one as mean, I used another one as max, then other one as percentage on the group. So that's what I was able to work on, just the whole assignment in general.
All right, so you are tracking as we are doing it. That's what I want to know. Even though you can't share your screen, you are able to do all this that they've done,
Yes, ma.
including filter.
Yes, ma.
Right? Okay, fantastic.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. All right. Okay, so perfect. You just want to do a quick filter thing and let me know. Darasimi, be ready to speak, and then we will round up for the weekend.
So I just dragged color into filters, and then now you can see colors. Then you can change the colors if you want.
So let's give a few tries here and there.
To change the color.
Yeah, pick some. Let's see. You're still selecting all. You only selected green, by the way. I thought you wanted to select green and black.
Oh.
So you didn't check the box. Oh, okay, you did. You just, all right. Okay, yes, you just did that now. So this tells you that in terms of percentage contribution by colors, maximum, minimum. Remember, this is cost you are dealing with, not the price. So in terms of production costs, the one that's most expensive to produce would then be what? Ford. Ford has the highest cost, which is 34%. And Chevrolet, even though it is 4,500, doesn't sound like it's the most expensive. So it might probably mean that you're talking about 2 or something. There are times this you drill further from the information you've been able to get. But fantastic, you've been able to use the fields as we have said. Darasimi, just make a quick contribution, and I think we have done a good job while Mr. Isaac is not here, and he will join us on Monday. Darasimi, can you speak?
Ma,
What have you practiced?
I tried to do the pivot table, but I didn't quite understand it on mobile.
Okay. So, but when do you think you'll be able to try it?
On Monday.
On Monday. All right. We will
Yes.
try. We're recording this session. So once it's available, please chat in case we did not remember to send it to you. Try. So you'll be able to practice when we upload it on the YouTube channel. Okay?
Mm.
Yeah?
It's okay, ma.
All right. Guys, I think we've done some work where it's not something we'll finish in a day. What I would normally encourage is I think he shared with you where you can get data, where you can see open source data.
No, ma.
All right.
No, ma.
Okay, I will tell him to share. He will put it on the group. Do this with several data. And if it's not open source, the ones that you have access to, just play around it. Because if you don't, the tendency to quickly forget is there. It's normal because very soon you will go back to your everyday life, school, whatever. But if you're able to carry it out on your own, practice some things, mess it all up, arrange it again, the tendency to remember, even when you are not doing it, is high. So guys, I'm going to say, have a great weekend. Let's look out if you have data that has to do with special needs. I'll be more than happy to have such numbers. So instead of it will now begin to replace Chevrolet and Honda and Toyota, just putting our mindset to people who have special needs and the need for us to inculcate humanity in our everyday affairs. On that note, I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Any questions, any comments? None?
No, ma.